Hello, I'm Vincent from Free English Lessons. In this video, you are going to learn parts of speech. Parts of speech are 8 in numbers. Noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and finally, interjection. Also I will teach you tenses, determiners, quantifiers, question tags, gerund, infinitive, passive voice, conditional, if, relative clauses, direct and indirect speech, distributives, and finally, punctuation. So, I am going to start off with the most basic part of parts of speech, and I want to start with 1. Nouns. A noun is a word used to name a person, place, thing, idea, or quality. Types of nouns. Proper noun. Specific names of people, places, or things, examples, Vincent, Central Park. Common noun. General names of people, places or things, examples, mom, park, toy. Collective noun. Groups or collections of people or things, examples, family, class, team, flock. Concrete nouns. Things that you can see, touch, hear, smell or taste, examples, tree, cat, dog, flower, apple. Abstract noun. Ideas, or feelings or qualities you cannot perceive with your senses, examples, honesty, love, happiness, bravery, friendship. Possessive noun. Shows ownership or possession, examples, John's car, the dog's tail, the teacher's book. Countable noun. Things that can be counted, examples, classmates, books. Uncountable noun. Things that cannot be counted, examples, water, sand, knowledge. Nouns answer the questions, what is it, and who is it? They give names to things, people, and qualities, examples, man, woman. Father, mother. Uncle, aunt. Boy, girl. Husband, wife. Actor, actress. Prince, princess. Hero, heroine. Waiter, waitress. Widow, widower. Some nouns can be used for either a masculine or feminine subject, examples, cousin, parent, friend, leader, partner, colleague, teenager, teacher, doctor, cook, student. Joyce is a doctor. She's a doctor. Remy is a doctor. He's a doctor. It's possible to make the distinction by adding the words male or female, examples, a female student. A male cousin. For profession we can add the word woman, example, a woman journalist. In some cases nouns describing things are given gender. I love my car. She, the car, is my greatest passion. The plural of nouns. Most nouns form the plural by adding s or es, examples, house, houses. River, rivers. Words that end in ch, x, s or s-like sounds, however, will require an es for the plural, examples, fox, foxes, gas, gases, kiss, kisses, yatch, yatches, Jones, joneses. There's one exception to this rule. If the ch ending is pronounced with a k sound, you add s rather than es, examples, eunuch, eunuchs, stomach, stomachs. A noun ending in y preceded by a consonant makes the plural with ies, examples, nappy, nappies, fly, flies, lady, ladies. With nouns that end in a consonant or a single vowel plus f or fe, change the f or fe to vs, examples, scarf, scarves, half, halves, knife, knives. With nouns which end in two vowels plus f usually form plurals in the normal way, with just an s, examples, chief, chiefs. There are some irregular formations for noun plurals, examples, fungus, fungi. Nucleus, nuclei. Syllabus, syllabi/syllabuses. Analysis, analyses. Diagnosis, diagnoses. Woman, women. Man, men. Child, children. Tooth, teeth. Foot, feet. Person, people. Cactus, cacti. Focus, foci. Some nouns have the same form in the singular and the plural, examples, fish, fish. Aircraft, aircraft. Sheep, sheep. Species, species. Some nouns have a plural form but take a singular verb, examples, athletics is good for young people. Linguistics is the study of language. The news is on at 6:30 p.m. Some nouns have a plural form and take a plural verb, examples, his jeans are black. Those glasses are his. Countable and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns are for things we can count. We can use the indefinite article a, or an, with countable nouns, examples, a dog is an animal. When a countable noun is singular, we must use a word like, a, an, the, my, or this. With it, examples, I want an apple. Not I want apple. Where is my bag? Not where is bag. When a countable noun is plural, we can use it alone, examples, I like apples. Glasses can break. We can use some and any with countable nouns, examples, I've got some coins. Have you got any books? We can use a few and many with countable nouns, examples, I've got a few coins. I haven't got many books. Uncountable nouns are for the things we cannot count. Examples, sugar, water, air, knowledge, beauty, love. They're used with a singular verb. They usually do not have a plural form. We cannot use a or an with these nouns. Use a word or expression like some, a lot of, a piece of, a bit of, a great deal of. Examples. They've got a lot of furniture. It's difficult to work when there's so much noise. How to form the possessive. To form the possessive, add s, apostrophe s, to the noun, example, clothes for men. Equals men's clothes. The possessive is also used to refer to shops, restaurants, churches and colleges, using the name or job title of the owner, examples, the grocers, the doctors, St. Mary's, St. James's, the chemists. Shall we go to Luigi's for lunch? I've got an appointment at the dentist's at 11 o'clock. All, it's used mostly before plural and uncountable nouns, example, all the invitees turned up. When all is followed by a plural noun, the verb is normally plural. After uncountable noun, we use a singular verb, examples, all cheese contains fat. All the lights were out. All and all of, we use all before a noun with no determiner, possessives, articles and demonstratives. All lights were out. Before a noun with a determiner, the, my, this, etc. All and all of are both possible, examples, I've invited all my friends to my birthday party. I've invited all of my friends to my birthday party. Before a personal pronoun, us, them etc., we use all of, examples, all of us love music. Not all us. Is that all of them? Not is that them all. We can put all after pronouns used as objects, examples, I love you all. Equals I love all of you. Collective nouns are nouns which stand for a group or collection of people or things. They include words such as audience, committee, police, crew, family, government, group and team. There are few collective nouns which are always used with a plural verb, the commonest of which are the police and people. Examples. The whole family was at the table. Singular verb. She's happy with the way the police have handled the case. 2. Pronouns. Pronouns take the place of nouns in a sentence. They are used so that nouns are not repeated. Types of pronouns. Personal pronouns. Possessive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns. Relative pronouns. Indefinite pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns. A. Personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Personal pronouns change forms depending on their role in a sentence. The subjective case means the pronoun is used as the subject of a sentence or a clause. Subject pronouns are often, but not always, found at the beginning of a sentence. The subjective pronouns are I, he, she, you, it, we, and they. Examples. She's going to send the fax now. I am 30. You seem lost. Riddick is angry, and he wants Sally to apologize. This table is old, it needs to be repainted. We aren't coming. They don't like pancakes. Objective case. Objective case means a pronoun usually is the object of the verb or preposition in a sentence. Object pronouns come after verbs and prepositions, to, with, for, at, on, beside, under, around, etc. By contrast, objects and object pronouns indicate the recipient of an action of motion. Objective pronouns are me, him, her, us, and them. Examples. The metal chair gave him an electric shock. Let us finalize the contract. John took a phone message for her. Tell them to hurry up. NB. When there's a linking verb, such as, is, are, was, and were, in a sentence, the pronoun that follows must be in the subjective, not objective, case. Incorrect speaking. This is her. Correct speaking. This is she. B. Possessive pronouns, shows ownership. Possessive pronouns, mine, yours, ours, theirs, his, hers, its, are truly pronouns because they refer to a previously named or understood noun. They stand alone, not followed by any other noun. Examples. This bag is mine. Yours is not blue. The bag looks like his. Those shoes are not hers. The car is ours. Theirs is packed in the garage. Possessive adjective, determiner, is not a pronoun. Possessive adjectives include the following: my, our, their, his, her, and its. They are technically adjectives because they modify a noun that follows them. Jewel's brother is married to John's sister. Her brother is married to his sister. Young and his sister. Jewel and her father. Do you know where your pens are? Is this their picnic? No, it's ours. I think this is your card. Yes, it's mine. C. Reflexive and intensive pronouns. They are singular, myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself. Plural. Ourselves, yourselves, themselves. They're the same set of words but they have different functions in a sentence. Reflective pronouns refer back to the subject of clause because the subject of the action is also the direct or indirect object. Only certain types of verbs can be reflexive. You cannot remove reflexive pronoun from a sentence because the remaining sentence would be grammatically incorrect. Examples. I told myself to calm down. You cut yourself on this wall, he hurt himself on the balcony. She found herself in a dangerous part of town. The dog threw itself under my car. We blame ourselves for the fire. The children can take care of themselves. I am teaching myself to play the violin. Be careful with that glass. You might cut yourself. Would you like to pour yourself a drink? We brought ourselves something to drink. They had to cook for themselves. He was feeling very sorry for himself. We can use reflexive pronouns as direct object with most transitive verbs, but these are the most common. Amuse, cut, dry, enjoy, help, hurt, introduce, kill, prepare, satisfy, teach. Would you like to take another drink? Equals would you like to help yourself to another drink? I wish the children would behave themselves. Equals I wish the children would behave well. He found himself lying by the side of the road. Equals he was surprised when he realized that he was at the side of the road. I saw myself as a famous actor. Equals I imagined that I was a famous actor. She applied herself to the job of mending lights. Equals she worked very hard to mend the lights. He busied himself in the kitchen. Equals he worked busily in the kitchen. I had to content myself with a few euros. Equals I had to be satisfied with a few euros. We do not use reflexive pronoun after verbs which describe things people usually do for themselves, such as wash, shave, dress. He washed himself in cold water. He always shave himself before going out in the evening. Michael dressed himself and got ready for the party. We only use reflexives with these verbs for emphasis. He dressed himself in spite of his injuries. She's old enough to wash herself. Warning. But we use personal pronouns, not reflexives, after prepositions of place. Example, he had a suitcase beside him. And after with when it means, accompanied by. Example, she had a few friends with her. We use reflexive pronoun. 1. With the preposition by, when we want to show that someone did something alone and or without any help. He lived by himself in an enormous house. She walked home by herself. The children got dressed by themselves. I prepared the whole meal by myself. 2. To emphasize the person or thing we're referring to. Siaya itself is quite a small town, especially if we're talking about someone very famous. Bien himself sang the final song. We often put the reflexive pronoun at the end of the clause when we're using it for emphasis. I baked the bread myself. She mended the car herself. Intensive pronouns emphasize the subject of a clause. They are not the object of the action. Intensive pronouns can always be removed from a sentence without changing the meaning significantly, although the emphasis on the object will be removed. Intensive pronouns can be placed immediately after the subject of the clause, or at the end of the clause. Examples. I made these biscuits myself. You yourself asked John to come. The president himself pardoned Mr. Brown. My teacher didn't know the answer herself. The test itself wasn't scary, but my teacher certainly is. We would like to finish building before Christmas ourselves. They themselves told me the lost shoes wasn't a problem. D. Relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are which, that and who, whom, objective case. That and which, can only refer to things. Who and whom, can only refer to people. Who, is used as the subject of the sentence or a clause. Whom is always an object of a verb or a prepositional phrase. Examples. He doesn't know whom to assign to the project. Whom is the object of the verb to assign. Who will be assigned to the project has not been decided. Who is the subject of the verb will be assigned. The manager gave 3 boxes to the mailman whom entered the office. E. Indefinite pronouns. They function as nouns, but they don't replace a noun. Indefinite pronouns include everybody and some. Example. Everybody admires the company's president. These pronouns do not point to any particular nouns, but refer to thing or people in general. Examples. 1. Someone, anyone, no one, everyone, each, somebody, anybody, nobody, everybody, and either, something, anything, nothing, everything. Somebody is coming to dinner. Neither of us believes a word Andrew says. Both are expected at the airport at the same time. Several have suggested canceling the meeting. Some of the dirt has become a permanent part of the rug. Some of the trees have been weakened by the storm. Indefinite pronouns use apostrophes to indicate possessive case. Examples. The accident is nobody's fault. How will the roadwork affect one's daily commute? Some indefinite pronouns may also be used as determiners. 1. Each, either, some, any, one, all, both, few, several, many, most. Note the difference. Each person has a chance. Each is a determiner describing a person. Each has a chance. Each is an indefinite pronoun replacing a noun. Both lawyers pled their cases well. Both is a determiner describing lawyers. Both were in the room. Both is an indefinite pronoun replacing a noun. F. Demonstrative pronouns. They identify or point to nouns. They include this, that and such. We use this, singular, and these, plural, as pronouns. 1. To talk about people or things near us. Example, this is a nice cup of tea. Whose shoes are these? 2. To introduce ourselves to begin a conversation on the phone. Hello, this is David, can I speak to Sally? 3. To introduce people. Example. This is Janet. These are my friends, John and Michael. Warning, we don't say, these are John and Michael, we say, this is John and this is Michael. We use that, singular, and those, plural, to talk about things that are not near us. Examples. What is that? This is our house and that's Rebecca's house over there. Those are very expensive shoes. 2. We also use that to refer back to something someone said or did. Examples. Shall we go to the cinema? Yes, that's a good idea. I've got a new job. That's great. I'm very tired. Why is that? G. Interrogative pronouns. They introduce questions. They include, who, whom, which and what. Example, who will be making a speech tonight? 3. Verbs. Action words. A verb expresses an action, occurrence, or state of being. Examples. Action, run, write, eat. State, is, am, are, was, were. Occurrence, become, happen. Types of verbs. Action verbs. Linking verbs. Transitive verbs. Intransitive verbs. Helping, auxiliary, verbs. Phrasal verbs. Stative verbs. Regular verbs. Irregular verbs. A. Action verb, main verb. Shows a physical or mental action. Examples. Run, think, learn. He runs every morning. B. Linking verb. Connects the subject to more information. They include am, is, are, was, were, seem. The verb to be, present tense. Am, is, are the present tense for be. Examples. She is a doctor. Hello, I'm Vincent. How old are you? I'm 32. The bank is 1 kilometer from here. This hotel is nice. I'm a student. This is my sister. My parents are doctors. Remy and Rachel are my children. This is a nice dress. She's a good actor. The verb to be, past tense. 1. Use, was and were, to talk about the situations in the past. It was cold yesterday. My mom was a teacher when she was younger. The children were late for school yesterday. Some students make questions incorrectly. You were at the party. Were you at the party? Some students use the wrong verb. We was very happy. We were very happy. Matching subjects and verbs. If you're not sure whether to use a singular or a plural verb, think carefully about what the subject of a sentence or clause actually is. The subjects in these examples are easy to identify and are clearly either singular or plural. Examples. The cat, singular subject, was, singular verb, curled up in front of the mirror. His, singular subject, speciality is, singular object, meat dishes such as steak and casseroles. We, plural subject, were, plural verb, tired and went to bed early. 5 friends, plural subject, go, plural verb, to the woods for a spot of rest and relaxation. The rich are not always happy. Limitless quantities of easy drinking wine were served to wash the meal down. More than 1 in 5 Britons are now classed as obese. More than one bathroom in the home is definitely an asset. Bill and Karen were introduced by a mutual friend. Mutuality and respect are part of our tradition. A dog or another small mammal is not just for Christmas, it's for life. It's pleasant when my family or my friends dream about what we'd do if one of us won the lottery. It's up to them to have children when they feel ready, not when their parents or anyone else tells them to. Whiskey, along with rare birds, is one of the magnets drawing visitors to this island. My brother Sam as well as my sister June, is a very good tennis player. This rule should also be followed with similar parenthetical words and phrases, such as, accompanied by, including, or together with. My brother Sam is a very good tennis player. Equals my brother Sam, as well as my sister June, is a very good tennis player. Not all sentences or clauses follow the typical word order in English, which is a subject followed by a verb. Exceptions include sentences beginning with here is / here are, there is, there are, and questions which start with where is where are. Examples. There are some beautiful engravings in those early botanical books. Where are my keys? Here are some tips to help you get it right. Either / neither. The main meaning of either is one or the other of two people or things. Similarly, neither means not one nor the other of two people or things. When neither and either function as determiners and appear without of, you should always use a singular noun and verb. Examples. Neither kid seems that bothered by it at all. There's a little evidence that either parent has addressed these issues. I think either of them is qualified to be president. Neither of her ex-husbands was remotely attractive. Most grammar guides advise that it's acceptable to use plural verb if you want to emphasize the fact that the whole statement is plural. Examples. Neither of his parents drink or smoke. Do either of these machines work? In the constructions either. Or, and neither. Nor, you can use either singular or plural subjects which should be matched to singular or plural verbs respectively. Examples. It's one of the best songs that either he or anyone else has composed. Neither the politicians nor their advisors are able to determine these outcomes. Sometimes there's a mix of singular and plural in those expressions. Examples. Neither she nor her managers were aware of what was happening. Either his drawing or the map is inaccurate. Equals either the map or his drawings are inaccurate. Equals either his drawings are inaccurate, or the map is. Matching verbs to collective nouns. The whole family was at the table. Singular verb. She's happy with the way the police have handled the case. See, transitive and intransitive verbs. 1. Transitive verb needs an object, a noun, phrase, or pronoun that refers to the person or thing that is affected by the action of the verb, to complete its meaning. In the following sentences, admire, maintain, face, raise and love are transitive verbs. I admire your courage. We need to maintain product quality. I couldn't face him today. They will raise a statue here. She loves animals. Some transitive verbs can be used with a direct object and indirect object. Liz bought her, indirect object, a glass of water, direct object. He sent her, indirect object, a letter, direct object. 2. Intransitive verbs. An intransitive verb does not have an object. In the following sentences, cry, work, laugh, rise, and talk are intransitive verbs. The baby was crying. I work for a large firm in Paris. They laughed uncontrollably. The sun rises at 5 a.m. tomorrow. We talked for hours. Raise, rise. Rise is intransitive verb and doesn't take an object. What this means is that you use the verb rise when something moves upwards by itself. Raise, on the other hand, is a transitive verb that requires that the subject acts upon an object. In other words, something raises something else. Raise, raised, raised, transitive. Examples. He raised his hand. The sun rises every morning. I rise out of bed quickly when the smell of freshly cooked bacon is in the air. Rise, rose, risen, intransitive. Examples. The sun rises in the east. The Boy Scouts raised money to offset the cost of their next camping trip. I raised my hand in the meeting to ask, why isn't there any bacon here? Set, sit. Set, 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 transitive. Examples. She sets the book on the desk. Sit, sat, intransitive. Example. Jack sits in the front row. Lay, laid, transitive. I am laying the book on the desk. Lie, lay, lain, intransitive. Tom is lying on his bed. I lay down in bed at 8:45. I had lain there a few minutes when I realized the oven was on. Lie, lied, intransitive, means to say or write something that you know is not true. Tell, say, speak, talk. Tell, to give information to somebody by speaking or waiting. Tell someone something. Example. I told him about it. Tell something to somebody. Examples. He told the news to his coworker. Please tell me your name. We usually say who's told, personal object, and what they were told. Examples. I told him. They told us. We told them. He told me that he was hungry. Mary told me to eat dinner. Our parents told us about it. Say, never has a person as the object. You say something or say something to somebody. Tell me what he said to you. I want to say something on the subject. The construction, he said that, is very common but that is often omitted in informal writing and speech. Examples. She said, that, she worked in the big company. He said, that, he was ill. Sally said that John would be late to the party. Both say and tell can be used in indirect speech. Direct speech. I said, I'm hungry. I think I told him. I'm hungry. Indirect speech. I said that I was hungry. I told him that I was hungry. Speak, we often use it for one-way communication, and also for more serious or formal situations. Examples. I need to speak to you after class. The king of this country spoke to the audience about the war. When we want to refer to a person's ability to speak a language. Examples. He speaks 2 languages. Do you speak English? Talk, it is used about a general topic. It cannot be used to report specific indirect speech. This verb usually refers to 2 or more people exchanging or sharing information. Examples. We talked about my big project. Let's talk about it. Both speak and talk have similar meanings. There's no big difference between them. They can often be used in the same situation. Speak has a more serious or formal tone. Examples. I spoke to her about the meeting. I talked to her about the meeting. D. Auxiliary verbs, helping verbs. Are the verbs be, do, have, will. They are followed by another verb, the full verb, in order to form a question, a negative sentence, a compound tense or the passive. They help the main verb. In this question, do you like Czech food? Do is the auxiliary verb, like is the main verb. In questions, auxiliary verbs come before the subject. In our example question, you is the subject. Do is used for forming questions and making negatives. It is used with the present simple tense. Does is the form for the third person singular, does she, and did is the past tense of do. Do and does is never used for the past. Have is used to make perfect tenses. It is always followed by the past participle, the third form of the verb. The forms of the perfect tense are the present perfect, past perfect and future perfect. Has is the form for the third person singular, he, she, it. Have is used for all other forms, I, you, we, they. Had is the past tense for have, for all pronouns. Other auxiliary verbs, modal verbs. Can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would and ought to. These are also known as modal verbs. We use them to show obligation, possibility and necessity. For example, Jack is late. He might be sleeping. Possibility. I should clean my room today. Obligation. I must wear a tie to school. Necessity. Must and have to. We can use must to show that we are certain something is true. We are making logical deduction based upon a clear evidence or reason. Examples. There's no heating on, you must be freezing. You must be worried that she's so late coming home. I can't remember what I did with it. I must be getting old. It must be nice to live in Florida. We also use must to express a strong obligation. When we use must, this usually means that some personal circumstance makes the obligation necessary, and the speaker almost certainly agrees with the obligation. Examples. I must go to bed earlier. They must do something about it. You must come and see us sometime. I must say, I don't think you were very nice to him. We can also use have to express a strong obligation. When we use have to, this usually means that some external circumstance makes the obligation necessary. Examples. I have to arrive at work at 9 sharp. My boss is very strict. We have to give him our answer today or lose out on the contract. You have to pass your exams or the university will not accept you. I have to send a report to head office every week. In British English, we often use have got to mean the same as have to. Examples. I have got to take this book back to the library or I'll get a fine. We've got to finish now as somebody else needs this room. We can also use will have to talk about strong obligations. Like must, this usually means that some personal circumstance makes the obligation necessary. Remember that will is often used to show willingness. Examples. I'll have to speak to him. We'll have to have lunch and catch up on all the gossip. They'll have to do something about it. I'll have to get back to you on that. As you can see, the differences between the present forms are sometimes very small and very subtle. However, there's a huge difference in the negative forms. We use mustn't to express strong obligations not to do something. Examples. We mustn't eat chocolate. It's bad for you. You mustn't phone at work. We aren't allowed personal calls. We mustn't talk about it. It's confidential. They mustn't see us talking or they'll suspect something. We use don't have to or haven't got to in British English to state that there's no obligation or necessity. Examples. We don't have to get there on time. The boss is away today. I don't have to listen to this. I'm leaving. You don't have to come if you don't want to. He doesn't have to sign anything if he doesn't want to at this stage. I haven't got to go. Only if I want to. May or might. We can use may to ask for permission. However, this is rather formal and not used very often in modern spoken English. Examples. May I borrow your pen? May we think about it? May I go now? We use may to suggest something is possible. It may rain later today. I may not have time to do it today. Peter may come with us. We use might to suggest a small possibility of something. Often we read that might suggests a smaller possibility than may. There's in fact little difference and might is more usual than may in spoken English. Examples. She might be at home by now but it's not sure at all. It might rain this afternoon. I might not have time to go to the shops for you. I might not go. For the past, we use might have. Examples. He might have tried to call while I was out. I might have dropped it in the street. Be used to. If you are used to something, you have often done or experienced, it's not strange, new, or difficult for you. Examples. I'm used to getting up early in the morning. I don't mind it. He didn't complain about the neighbor's loud party, he was used to the noise. We can also say be used to someone. Examples. I don't think Tom's strange, I'm used to him. I don't understand him. I'm not used to his accent yet. Get used to. If you get used to something you become accustomed to it, it's no longer unusual or strange. Get used to is the process of becoming used to something. Examples. I got used to his Scottish accent after a while. I got used to waking up early in the morning. After a while he didn't mind the noise in the office, he got used to it. Used to. It's used only in the past simple tense. If you used to do something, past habits, past states, you did it for a period of time in the past, but you don't do it anymore. Examples. We used to live there when I was a child. I used to walk to school every day when I was a child. He used to have long hair but now it's short. I used to believe in magic when I was a child. I didn't used to like wine, but now I love it. Did, ent, he used to work in your office, will. Used to express desire, pretense, choice or consent. Examples. I will take this duty. Will you stop talking like that, used to express the future. Examples. It will rain tomorrow. The news will spread soon. Used to express capacity or capability. Examples. This bucket will hold 2 gallons of water. This airplane will take 200 passengers. Used to express determination, insistence or persistence. Example. I will do as you say. Would, past tense of will. Often used in auxiliary functions with rather to express preference. Examples. I would rather go shopping today. We'd rather say something than stay silent. Used to express a wish or desire. Example. I would like to have one more pencil. Used to express contingency or possibility. Example. If I were you, I would be so happy. Used to express routine or habitual things. Example. Normally, we would work until 6 p.m. Shall. Mainly used in American English to ask questions politely. Examples. Shall we dance? Shall I go now? Let's drink, shall we? Often used in formal settings to deliver obligation or requirement. Examples. You shall abide by the law. There shall be no trespassing on this property. Students shall not enter this room. For the future tense, will is more frequently used in American English than shall. Should, past form of shall. Often used in auxiliary function to express an opinion, suggestion, preference or ideas. Examples. You should rest at home today. I should take a bus this time. He should be more thoughtful in the decision-making process. Used to express that you wish something had happened but it didn't or couldn't, should plus have plus past participle. Examples. You should have seen it. It was really beautiful. I should have completed it earlier to meet the deadline. We should have visited the place on the way. Used to ask for someone's opinion. Examples. What should we do now? Should we continue our meeting, should we go this way? Where should we go this summer? Used to say something expected or correct. Examples. There should be an old city hall building here. Everybody should arrive by 6 p.m. We should be there this evening. Can. Can is an auxiliary verb, a modal auxiliary verb. We use can to 1. Make requests, 2. Talk about possibility and ability, 3. Ask for or give permission. Examples. I can play tennis. He cannot/can't play tennis. Can you play tennis? We use can to talk about what is possible, what we are able or free to do. Examples. She can drive a car. John can speak Spanish. I cannot hear you. I can't hear you, can you hear me? Normally, we use can for the present. But it's possible to use can when we make present decision about future ability. Examples. Can you help me with my homework? Present. Sorry. I'm busy today. But I can help you tomorrow. Future. Can for requests and orders. Examples. Can you make a cup of coffee, please? Can you put the TV on? Can you come here a minute? Can you be quiet? Can for permission. Examples. Can I smoke in this room? You can't smoke here, but you can smoke in the garden. Note that we also use could, may, might for permission. The use of can for permission is informal. Would like / d like and do you like. We use would like or d like to say politely what we want, especially when making offers and requests. Examples. Would you like a biscuit with your coffee? Can you order for Ellie? She'd like the margarita pizza, please. Verbs that follow would like are in the to infinitive form. Examples. Would you like to listen to that again? I'd like to get a return ticket for tomorrow. We use do you like to ask about preferences in general. We don't use do you like to make offers or requests. Examples. Do you like rice? Asks about likes and dislikes in general. Would you like some rice? Offers some rice. Do you like dancing? Asks about likes and dislikes in general. Would you like to dance? Invites you to dance. We use would like to have plus ed form when talking about things in the past that we have missed. Examples. I'd like to have watched the football but I had to go out. I wanted to watch football but I didn't. We use I'd like to as a short answer to an offer or invitation. A. You must have dinner with us. B. Yes, I'd like to. A. Good. Is Sunday night any good? Have got and have. Have got and have mean the same. Have got is more informal. Examples. I've got a terrible pain in my back. I've a terrible pain in my back. More formal. They haven't got a car. They don't have a car. More formal, we use have, got, to talk about possession, relationships, characteristics, and illnesses. In these contexts, it's not used in the continuous form. Examples. She's got 2 cats and a dog. She has 2 cats and a dog. Not. She is having got 2 cats and a dog. Have you got a drill? Do you have a drill? More formal. How many brothers have you got? How many brothers do you have? More formal. She's got a delightful voice. She has a delightful voice. More formal. I have never had the measles. She's got a headache. Not. She's having a headache. F. Phrasal verbs, to get plus preposition / adverb, and their meanings. Get at, try to express. Get away with, escape punishment for a crime or bad action. Get by, manage, financially. Get down, descend, depress. Get off, leave a form of transport, train, bus, bicycle, plane. Get on, enter / sit on a form of transport, train, bus, bicycle, plane, have a relation with someone, manage. Get out of, avoid doing something especially a duty. Get over, recover, from an illness, a surprise. Get through, use or finish the supply of something. Get up, leave your bed. Get up to, do, usually something bad. Examples. He got on his bicycle and rode down the street. He gets up at 6 a.m. every morning. She got out of the washing up every day, even when it was her turn. We got off the train just before the bomb exploded. We've got through all the sugar, can you buy some more? The children are very quiet, I wonder what they're getting up to. The verb to get. To get can be used in a number of patterns and has a number of meanings. Obtain, receive, buy. Example. I got my passport last week. Reach, arrive at a place. Example. How are you getting home tonight? Become, show a change of taste. Example, you're getting old. To get has a number of other meanings. Do you get it? Equals understand. He's getting dinner tonight. Equals prepare a meal. I'll get the bill. Equals pay. That really gets me. Equals irritate, annoy. Other expressions with get. To get rid of something means to throw it away. Example. I'm going to get rid of all these old books. To get out of bed on the wrong side means to be in a bad mood. Example. He got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning and he's been horrible all day. To get your own back means to have your revenge or punish someone. Example. She's getting her own back for all these rude things you said at the party last night. Do or make. Do, we use the verb do when someone performs an action, activity, or task. NB. These activities do not usually produce a physical object. Examples. Do a crossword, do the washing, do the ironing, do the washing up, do the laundry, do your work, do housework, do homework, do your job. Use the verb do when speaking about things in general. In other words, to describe an action without saying exactly what the action is. This form is often used with the words something, nothing, anything, everything, etc. Examples. I'm not doing anything today. He does everything for his mother. She's doing nothing. There are a number of standard expressions that take the verb do. The best solution is to try to learn them. Examples. Do badly, do business, do the dishes, do a favor, do good, do harm, do well, do your best, do time, go to prison, do your hair, do your nails, do your work. Make. We use the verb make for constructing, building, creating or preparing food of any kind. NB. These activities usually create something that you can touch. Examples. Make dress, make a cup of tea/coffee, make food, make a meal, breakfast/lunch/dinner. There are a number of standard expressions that take the verb make. Examples. Make amends, make arrangements, make a choice, make a comment, make a decision, make a difference, make an effort, make an inquiry, make an excuse. Make a fortune, make friends. Make a fuss, make a journey, make a promise, make a remark, make a sound, make a speech. Make love, make a mess, make a mistake, make money, make a move, make a noise, make a payment, make a fool of yourself, make a believe, to pretend, make a phone call, make a plan, make a point, make a profit, make a suggestion, make time, make a visit, make your bed, to prepare the bed for sleeping in. G. Stative verbs, describe states, conditions, emotions, or thoughts. Examples. Love, know, wish, believe, desire, taste, sound. H. Regular verb, forms past tense by adding ed, examples walk, jump, play. She walked to school. Irregular verbs. This is a list of some irregular verbs in English. Of course, there are many other, but these are some of the more common irregular verbs. Infinitive, simple past, past participle. Arise, arose, arisen. Awake, awoke, awoken, bear, bore, born, beat, beat, beaten, become, became, become, beget, begot, begotten, begin, began, begun, bind, bound, bound, bite, bit, bitten, cut, 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 dig, dug, dug, draw, drew, drawn, drink, drank, drunk, drive, drove, driven, eat, ate, eaten, fall, fell, fallen, verb tenses. Every sentence has a subject and a main verb. Verbs describe what the subject is doing. To be able to show exactly what the subject does at any time, verbs have different forms and tenses. In order to speak and write English correctly, you must learn the various verb forms and tenses. 1. Present tenses. Simple present. He wants a drink. Present continuous. They're walking home. 2. Past tenses. Simple past. Omondi lived in Kenya in 1965. Past continuous. Omondi was living in Kenya in 1965. 3. Perfect tenses. Present perfect. I've lived here since 1987. Present perfect continuous. I've been living here for years. Past perfect. We had seen her several times before she visited us. Past perfect continuous. He had been watching her for some time when she turned and smiled. Future perfect. We will have arrived in the States by the time you get this letter. Future perfect continuous. By the end of your course, you will have been studying for 5 years. 4. Future tenses. Simple future. They will go to Uganda next week. Future continuous. I'll be traveling by train. 5. Conditional tenses. Type 1 conditional. If he had the money he would go. Type 2 conditional. He would be getting up now if he was in Australia. Type 3 conditional. She would have visited me if she had time. Perfect continuous conditional. I would have been playing tennis if I hadn't broken my arm. 4. Adverbs. Adverbs modify or tell us more about other words, usually verbs. Examples. The bus moved slowly. The bears ate greedily. Sometimes they tell us more about adjectives. Examples. You look absolutely fabulous. They can also modify other verbs. Examples. She played the violin extremely well. You're speaking too quietly. More examples of adverbs. Easily, angrily, happily, luckily. Probably, terribly, gently. Basically, economically, tragically, publicly. Some adverbs have the same form as the adjectives. Early, late, fast, near, hard, straight, high, wrong. Compare. It's fast car. He drives very fast. This is a hard-won exercise. He works hard. We saw many high buildings. The bird flew high in the sky. Types of adverbs. Adverbs of place. Here, everywhere. Adverbs of manner. Quickly, slowly. Adverbs of degree. Very, too. Adverbs of certainty. Certainly, definitely, probably, undoubtedly, surely. Viewpoint, commenting, adverbs, honestly, personally, surprisingly, ideally, officially, obviously, clearly, undoubtedly. Interrogative, relative, adverbs, why, where, how, when, adverbs of time. Now, yesterday. Adverbs of frequency. Often, rarely. Conjunctive adverbs, also, anyway, besides, certainly, earlier, finally, further, for instance, for example, however, hence, in addition, instead, later, likewise, moreover, namely, next, now, nevertheless, on the other hand, otherwise, perhaps, so, still, then, therefore, thus, and undoubtedly. A. Adverbs of place. Adverbs of place tell us where something happens. They are usually placed after the main verb or after the object. After the main verb. Examples. I looked everywhere. John looked away, up, down, around. I'm going home, out, back. Come in. After the object. Examples. They built a house nearby. She took the child outside. Common adverbs of place, here and there. With verbs of movement, here means towards or with the speaker. Examples. Come here. Equals towards me. It's here, equals come with me to see. There means away from, or not with the speaker. Examples. Put it there. Equals away from me. It's in there, equals go by yourself to see it. Here and there are combined with prepositions to make many common adverbial phrases. Examples. Down here, down there, over there, under there, up here, up there. Here and there are placed at the beginning of the sentence in exclamations or when emphasis is needed. Examples. Here comes the bus. Followed by the verb. Here it is. Followed by the pronoun. There she goes. Followed by the pronoun. NB. Most common adverbs of places also function as prepositions. Examples. About, across, along, behind, by, down, in, off, on, over, round, through, under, up. Other adverbs of place. Ending in wards, expressing movement in a particular direction. Backwards, forwards, downwards, upwards, inwards, outward, northwards, southwards, eastwards, westwards, homewards, onwards. Cats usually don't walk backwards. The ship sailed westwards. Be careful. Towards is a preposition, not an adverb, so it's always followed by a noun of a pronoun. Examples. He walked towards the car. She ran towards me. Expressing both movement and location. Ahead, abroad, overseas, uphill, downhill, sideways, indoors, outdoors. Examples. The child went indoors. He lived and worked abroad. B. Adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner tell us how something happens. They are usually placed after the main verb or after the object. Examples. He swims well, after the main verb. He ran. Rapidly, slowly, quickly. James coughed loudly to catch her attention. She spoke. Softly, loudly, aggressively. He plays the flute beautifully. After the object. He ate the chocolate cake greedily. Be careful. The adverb should not be put between the verb and the object. Examples. He ate greedily the chocolate cake, incorrect. He ate the chocolate cake greedily, correct. If there's a preposition before the object, examples at towards, we can place the adverb either before the preposition or after the object. Examples. The child ran happily towards his mother. The child ran towards his mother happily. Sometimes an adverb of manner is placed before a verb plus object to add emphasis. Example. He gently woke the sleeping woman. Some writers put an adverb of manner at the beginning of the sentence to catch our attention and make us curious. Example. Slowly, she picked up the knife. However, adverbs should always come after intransitive verbs, verbs which have no object. Examples. The town grew quickly. He waited patiently. Also, these common adverbs are almost always placed after the verb. Well, badly, hard, fast. The position of the adverb is important when there's more than one verb in a sentence. If the adverb is placed after a clause, then it modifies the whole action described by the clause. Examples. She quickly agreed to retype the letter. Equals her agreement was quick. She agreed to retype the letter quickly. Equals the retyping was quick. He quietly asked me to leave the house. Equals his request was quiet. He asked me to leave the house quietly. Equals the leaving of the house was quiet. C. Adverbs of degree. Adverbs of degree tell us about the intensity or degree of an action, an adjective or another adverb. Common adverbs of degree. Almost, nearly, quite, just, too, enough, hardly, scarcely, completely, very, extremely. Adverbs of degree are usually placed. 1. Before the adjective or adverb they are modifying, example. The water was extremely cold. 2. Before the main verb. He was just leaving. She has almost finished. Examples. She doesn't quite know what she'll do after the university. They are completely exhausted from the trip. I'm too tired to go out tonight. He hardly noticed what she was saying. Enough, as an adverb meaning to the necessary degree, goes after adjectives and adverbs. Examples. Is your coffee hot enough? Adjective. He didn't work hard enough. Adverb. It also goes before nouns, and means, as much as is necessary. In this case it is not an adverb, but a determiner. Examples. We have enough bread. They don't have enough food. 2. As an adverb meaning more than is necessary or useful goes before adjectives and adverbs. Examples. This coffee is too hot. Adjective. He works too hard. Adverb. Enough and to, with adjectives can be followed by, for someone/something. Examples. The dress was big enough for me. She's not experienced enough for this job. The coffee was too hot for me. The dress was too small for her. We can also use to plus infinitive after enough and to with adjective/adverb. Examples. The coffee was too hot to drink. He didn't work hard enough to pass the exam. You're too young to have grandchildren. Very goes before an adverb or adjective to make it stronger. Examples. The girl was very beautiful. Adjective. He worked very quickly. Adverb. If we want to make a negative form of adjective or adverb, we can use a word of opposite meaning or not very. Examples. The girl was ugly or the girl was not very beautiful. She worked slowly or she didn't work very quickly. Be careful. There's a big difference between to and very. Very expresses a fact. Example. He speaks very quickly. To suggests there's a problem. Example. He speaks too quickly, for me to understand. These common adverbs are used like very and not very, and are listed in order of strength, from positive to negative. Extremely, especially, particularly, pretty, rather, quite, fairly, not especially, not particularly. NB, rather can be positive or negative depending on the adjective or adverb that follows. Positive, the teacher was rather nice. Negative, the teacher was rather disappointing. With negative adverbs. Normally the subject goes before the verb. However, some negative adverbs can cause an inversion, the order is reversed and the verb goes before the subject. Examples. I have never seen such a courage. Never have I seen such a courage. She rarely left the house. Rarely did she leave the house. Negative inversion is used in writing, not in speaking. Other adverbs and adverbial expressions that can be used like this. Seldom, scarcely, hardly, not only. But also, no sooner than, not until, under no circumstances. D. Adverbs of certainty. Adverbs of certainty expresses how certain or sure we feel about an action or event. Common adverbs of certainty. Certainly, definitely, probably, undoubtedly, surely. 1. Adverbs of certainty go before the main verb but after the verb to be. Examples. He definitely left the house this morning. He's probably in the park. 2. With other auxiliary verb, these adverbs go between the auxiliary and the main verb. Examples. He has certainly forgotten the meeting. He will probably remember tomorrow. 3. Sometimes these adverbs can be placed at the beginning of the sentence. Example. Undoubtedly, Winston Churchill was a great politician. Be careful. With surely. When it's placed at the beginning of the sentence, it means the speaker thinks something is true, but is looking for confirmation. Example. Surely, you've got a bicycle. Viewpoint and commenting adverbs. These are some adverbs and adverbial expressions which tell us about the speaker's viewpoint or opinion about an action, or make some comments on the action. Viewpoint. These adverbs are placed at the beginning of the sentence and are separated from the rest of the sentence by a comma. Some common viewpoint adverbs. Honestly, seriously, confidentially, personally, surprisingly, ideally, surely, economically, officially, obviously, clearly, undoubtedly. Frankly, I think he's a liar. This is my frank, honest opinion. Theoretically, you should pay a fine. From a theoretical point of view, but there may be another way of looking at the situation. Personally, I'd rather go by train. Surprisingly, this car is cheaper than the smaller model. Geographically, Britain is rather cut off from the rest of Europe. Commenting. These are very similar to viewpoint adverbs, and often the same words, but they go in a different position, after the verb to be and before the main verb. Some common commenting adverbs. Definitely, certainly, obviously, simply. Examples. She's certainly the best person for the job. You obviously enjoyed your meal. Interrogative adverbs. These are why, where, how, when. They're usually placed at the beginning of a question. Examples. Why are you so late? Where is my passport? How much is that coat? When does the train arrive? Notice that how can be used in 4 different ways. 1. Meaning, in what way? How did you make this sauce? How do you start the car? 2. With adjectives. How tall are you? How old is your house? 3. With much and many. How much are these tomatoes? How many people are coming to the party? 4. With other adverbs. How quickly can you read this? How often do you go to London? Relative adverbs. The following adverbs can be used to join sentences or clauses. They replace the more formal structure of preposition plus which, in a relative clause. Where, when, and why. Examples. That's the restaurant where we met for the first time. Where equals at / in which. I remember the day when we first met. When equals on which. There was a very hot summer the year when he was born. When equals in which. Tell me, the reason, why you were late home. Why equals for which, but could replace the whole phrase, the reason for which. Adverbs of time. Adverbs of time tell us when an action happened, but also for how long, and how often. Examples. When. Today, yesterday, later, now, last year. For how long? All day, not long, for a while, since last year. How often? Sometimes, frequently, never, often, yearly. When adverbs are usually placed at the end of the sentence. Examples. Goldilocks went to the bear's house yesterday. I'm going to tidy my room tomorrow. This is a neutral position, but see, when adverbs can be put in other positions to give a different emphasis. Compare. Later Goldilocks ate some porridge. The time is more important. Goldilocks later ate some porridge. This is more formal, like policeman's report. Goldilocks ate some porridge later. This is neutral, no particular emphasis. For how long, adverbs are usually placed at the end of the sentence. Examples. She stayed in the bear's house all day. My mother lived in France for a year. Notice, for is always followed by an expression of duration. Examples. For 3 days. For several years. For a week. For 2 centuries. Since is always followed by an expression of a point in time. Examples. Since Monday. Since 1997. Since last year. How often adverbs expressing the frequency of an action are usually placed before the main verb but after the auxiliary verbs, such as be, have, may, must. Examples. I often eat vegetarian food. Before the main verb. He never drinks milk. Before the main verb. You must always fasten your seatbelt, after the auxiliary must. She's never seasick. After auxiliary is. I've never forgotten my first kiss. After the auxiliary have and before the main verb forgotten. Some other, how often adverbs express the exact number of times an action happens and are usually placed at the end of the sentence. Examples. This magazine is published monthly. He visits his mother once a week. When a frequency adverb is placed at the end of a sentence, it's much stronger. Compare. She regularly visits France. She visits France regularly. Adverbs that can be used in these 2 positions. Sometimes, frequently, normally, often, usually, generally, occasionally, regularly. Yet, and, still. Yet is used in questions and in negative sentences, and is placed at the end of the sentence or after not. Examples. Have you finished your work yet? Equals a simple request for information. No, not yet. Equals simple negative. They haven't met him yet, equals a simple negative statement. Haven't you finished yet? Expressing slight surprise. Still, express continuity, it's used in positive sentences and questions and is placed before the main verb and after auxiliary verbs, such as be, have, might, will. Examples. I'm still hungry. Are you still here? She's still waiting for you. Do you still work for the BBC? Order of adverbs of time. If you need to use more than one adverb of time at the end of a sentence, use them in this order. 1. How long? 2. How often? 3. When? Examples. I work for 5 hours every day. The magazine was published weekly last year. I was abroad for 2 months last year. She worked in a hospital for 2 days every week last year. So, 2, neither, either. We use so do I to say that a positive sentence is also true to the speaker, and we use neither do I to say that a negative sentence is also true for speaker. Examples. Peter hates mushrooms. So do I also hate mushrooms. Mary doesn't live in London. Neither do I equals I also don't live in London. The verb after so, or, and either changes depending on the tense of the verb in the first sentence. Examples. Lucy likes coffee. So do I, present simple, use do/does. John's at the office. So do I, present simple with be, use am/is/are. John isn't at the office. Neither do I. Jill went to the cinema yesterday. So did I, past simple, use did. Jill didn't go to the cinema yesterday. Neither did I. She was at the library. So was I, past simple with be, use was/were. She wasn't at the library. Neither was I. They've been to Columbia. So have I, present perfect, use have/has. They haven't been to Columbia. Neither have I. Edward will be at the cafe later. So will I, future simple, use will. Edward won't be at the cafe later. Neither will I. He would like a cup of tea. So would I. Modal verbs, repeat the modal verb. He wouldn't like a cup of tea. Neither would I. Emma can speak Russian. So can I. Emma can't speak Russian. Neither can I. Luke is going out tonight. So am I, present continuous, use am, is, are. Luke isn't going out tonight. Neither am I. What about to and either? We can also use I do too and I don't either, which mean the same as so do I and neither do I. Examples. Peter hates mushrooms. I do too equals I also hate mushrooms. Mary doesn't live in London. I don't either equals I also don't live in London. The verb changes in the same way as with so do I and neither do I. Remember, you need a negative verb with either. Present tense, John's at the office. I am too. Present continuous, Luke isn't going out tonight. I'm not either. Present perfect, they've been to Columbia, I have too. Modal verbs, Emma can't speak Russian. I can't either. Me too and me neither. We can also use me too and me neither. Me too has the same meaning as so plus auxiliary verb plus I. And me neither has the same meaning as neither plus auxiliary verb plus I. Me too and me neither are very informal. Examples. Peter hates mushrooms. Me too. Equals I also hate mushrooms. Mary doesn't live in London. Me neither. I also don't live in London. H. Conjunctive adverbs. A conjunctive adverb connects two independent classes or sentences. Other adverbs modify or add to a word, but a conjunctive adverb affects a sentence. The term conjunctive comes from the Latin for join together. Conjunctive adverb brings together two complete thoughts. Each clause can stand on its own as a sentence. The first clause is followed by a semicolon. Sometimes there's a comma after the conjunctive adverb. Following is a list of conjunctive adverbs. Also, anyway, besides, certainly, earlier, finally, further, for instance, for example, however, hence, in addition, instead, later, likewise, moreover, namely, next, now, nevertheless, on the other hand, otherwise, perhaps, so, still, then, therefore, thus, and undoubtedly. Conjunctive adverbs can be grouped according to function. This may help you understand them a bit better. Sometimes their function is addition. An example of these would be in addition, next, still, also and again. Comparison is another way they work, such as words like also, likewise, and similarly. Concession is sometimes made with words like granted and of course. Adverbs like although, instead, in spite of, and regardless, show a contrast. Sometimes emphasis is the function, with words like indeed, of course, and certainly. Conjunctive adverbs can illustrate with words such as, for example, namely, thus and in conclusion. Words that summarize include all in all, that is, in summary, and finally. Time can be referred to with these words, before, meanwhile, furthermore, lately, now, since, and thereafter. Examples of conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs are also called adverbial conjunctions. Here are a few examples to further illustrate what they do for sentences. I wanted to see a scary movie, however, my friend wanted to see a comedy. You need to concentrate on your studies, otherwise, you will fail the class. The thunder and lightning were intense, consequently, the crowd dispersed. He enjoyed getting a new tie, nevertheless, a sports car would have been a better gift. We really need to go to the mall, in addition, we should see a movie. Conjunctive adverbs act like conjunctions, however, they're adverbs. Other functions. Conjunctive adverb can also function as a regular adverb and modify a verb, an adjective or another adverb. In this case, they will not need extra punctuation. Here's an example. He was accordingly very interested in jazz. In this sentence the word accordingly is acting like an adverb and modifying the verb interested. Many times a conjunctive adverb will start a sentence and need a comma after it since it appears before an independent clause. Following are some examples. Therefore, I will eat green eggs and ham. In other words, English is a hard language. Above all, we must try and save the planet. Comparative and superlative adverbs. In general, comparative and superlative forms of adverbs are the same as for adjectives. Add or s to short adverbs. Adverbs. Comparative. Superlative hard, harder, the hardest. Quietly, more quietly, most quietly. Some adverbs have irregular comparative and superlative forms. Adverb. Comparative. Superlative. Bad, worse, worst. Far, farther/further, farthest/furthest. Little, less, least. Well, better, best. Examples. Jim works harder than his brother. Everyone in the race ran fast, but John ran the fastest of all. The teacher spoke more slowly to help us to understand. Could you sing more quietly, please? The little boy ran farther from his friends. You're driving worse today than yesterday. Be careful. Sometimes most can mean very. Examples. We were most grateful for your help. I'm most impressed by this application. Well and good. Well is the adverb that corresponds to the adjective good. Examples. He's a good pianist. She plays the piano well. They are good swimmers. They swim well. 5. Adjectives. An adjective describes or modifies a noun or pronoun. Examples. Understandable, capable, readable, incredible, enjoyable, accidental. Mathematical, functional, influential, chemical, comical. Beautiful, bashful, helpful, harmful, playful. Submissive, intuitive, inventive, attractive, corrective. Artistic, manic, rustic, terrific, comic. Sleeveless, hopeless, groundless, restless. Gorgeous, dangerous, adventurous, fabulous. Reddish, obedient, talkative, elderly, sickly. Long, starry, windy, correct, elder, red, sick. Some adjectives and adverbs are the same. Examples. Fast, only, late, pretty, right, short, sound, hard, fair, even, cheap, early, much, little. A hot potato. Some hot potato. To emphasize or strengthen the meaning of an adjective we add very or really. A very hot potato. Some really hot potatoes. Types of adjectives. Descriptive. Smart, strong. Quantitative. Some, many, few. Demonstrative. This, those. Possessive. My, his, their. Interrogative. Which, what. A. Position of adjectives. 1. Usually in front of a noun. A beautiful girl. 2. After verbs like to be, linking verbs like become, seem, appear, turn, get, be, comma. And cognitive verbs like look, taste, sound, smell. Examples. The girl is beautiful. You look tired. This meat tastes funny. 3. After the noun with the adjectives involved, present, concerned. Examples. I want to see the people involved/concerned. Equals the people who have something to do with the matter. Here is a list of the people present. Equals the people who were in the building or at the meeting. Be careful. When these adjectives are used before the noun they have a different meaning. An involved discussion. Equals detailed, complex. A concerned father. Worried, anxious. The present situation. Equals current, happening now. 4. After the noun. In some fixed expressions. Examples. The Princess Royal, the President-elect. A court-martial. 5. After indefinite pronouns like someone, something, anything, no one. Example. I couldn't see anything wrong here. Notes. Besides, we can use adjective in structures. Be plus 2 plus adjectives plus to do something. Example. She is too short to play basketball. Be plus adjective plus enough, plus for someone/something, plus to do something. Example. Lisa is intelligent enough to do that work. Subject plus be/verb plus so plus adjective plus that plus clause, subject plus verb. Example. She's so kind that everyone loves her. Subject plus verb plus such plus a/and plus adjective plus that plus clause. Example. It was such a hot day that we decided to stay indoors. Adjective in exclamative sentence. What plus a/and plus adjective plus noun. Example. What an awful day, how plus adjective plus s plus v. How kind the girl is, s plus fine plus it plus adjective plus to do something. Example. Bin found it difficult to learn English. B. Functions of adjectives. 1. Describe feelings or qualities. Examples. He's a lonely man. They're honest people. 2. Give nationality or origin. Examples. Pierre is French. This clock is German. Our house is Victorian. 3. Tell more about a thing's characteristics. Examples. A wooden table. The knife is sharp. 4. Tell us about age. Examples. He is a young man. My coat is very old. 5. Tell us about size and measurements. Examples. John is a tall man. This is a very long film. 6. Tell us about color. Examples. Paul wore a red shirt. The sunset was crimson and gold. 7. Tell us about material/what something is made of. Examples. It was a wooden table. It was a cotton dress. 8. Tell us about shape. Examples. A rectangular box. The square envelope. 9. Express a judgment or a value. Examples. A fantastic film. Grammar is boring. C. The order of adjectives in sentence. The usual order is value/opinion, size, age/temperature, shape, color, origin, material. Value/opinion. Delicious, lovely, charming. Size, small, huge, tiny. Age/temperature, old, young, hot. Shape, round, square, rectangular. Color, red, blonde, black. Origin, Swedish, Victorian, Chinese. Material, plastic, wooden, silver. Examples. A lovely old red postbox. Some small round plastic tables. Some charming small silver ornaments. D. Negative prefixes. Negative statements are the opposite of the affirmative statements. In English, one way to make negative statements is by adding negative prefixes to nouns, adjectives, and verbs. Here are some negative English prefixes. A. Dis, Illinois, im, ir, non, un. For example, the prefix, un, can be attached to the adjective happy to create the negative unhappy. Or you can use the negative adverb, not. Note that there's no difference in meaning between these two forms. Political, apolitical, sexual, asexual, theist, atheist. Agree, disagree, comfort, discomfort, mount, dismount, orient, disorient. Legal, illegal, legible, illegible, literate, illiterate, logical, illogical. Mobile, immobile, moral, immoral, perfect, imperfect, possible, impossible. Accurate, inaccurate, eligible, ineligible, organic, inorganic, decent, indecent, sane, insane. Rational, irrational, reconcilable, irreconcilable, regular, irregular, resistible, irresistible. Conformist, nonconformist, essential, non-essential, fiction, non-fiction, sense, nonsense. Able, unable, interesting, uninteresting, usual, unusual, comfortable, uncomfortable, helpful, unhelpful, prepare, unprepared, happy, unhappy/not happy. Most compounds with non are written with a hyphen in British English, but not in American English. Non-alcoholic, non-alcoholic. E. Adjectives ending in ed and ing. Example sentences of adjectives ending in ed and ing. This grammar lesson is boring. I'm bored reading all about these grammar rules. I'm tired right now. My flight was tiring, because it was a 12-hour flight. Public toilets are usually disgusting. I'm disgusted by the smell in some of them. Your speech was very inspiring. I'm now inspired to do wonderful things with my life. Compare the difference. My girlfriend is bored. Equals my girlfriend feels bored. My girlfriend is boring. Equals my girlfriend is a boring person. You can use these adjectives to describe people or situations, but be careful that you're using the correct adjective. For example, there's a big difference in meaning between I'm confused equals I don't understand something. I'm confusing. I will cause you to be confused. Note that the sentences below are to highlight the difference between the two types of adjectives. They're not common to do or say because they sound repetitive. I was shocked by how shocking the accident was last night. They were frightened by the frightening roller coaster ride. I'm annoyed by how annoying that person in front of us is. Sally was confused by the confusing street signs in the city. F. Comparative and superlative adjectives. Using the comparative of adjectives in English is quite easy once you've understood the few simple rules that govern them. Most one-syllable adjectives take the ending -en est. Two-syllable adjectives use more plus regular form or most plus regular form to make the comparative and the superlative. All three or more syllable adjectives must use more plus regular form or most plus regular form. Number of syllables. Comparative. Superlative. One syllable. Plus air. Plus estnb, adjectives ending in y like happy, pretty, busy, sunny, lucky, etc. Replace the y with your or iest in the comparative and superlative form. Number of syllables. Comparative. Superlative. Two syllables. Plus or more plus adjective. Plus est or most plus adjective. If you're not sure, use more plus or most plus. Number of syllables. Comparative. Superlative. 3 syllables or more. More plus adjective. Most plus adjective. Regular. Comparative. Superlative. Number of syllables. Fat, fatter, fattest, 1. New, newer, newest, 1. Tall, taller, tallest, 1. Hot, hotter, hottest, 1. Cute, cuter, cutest, 1. Pretty, prettier, prettiest, 2. Lonely, lonelier, loneliest, 2. Happy, happier / more happy, happiest / most happy, 2. Yellow, yellower / more yellow, yellowest / most yellow, 2. Simple, simpler / more simple, simplest / most simple, 2. Tender, tenderer / more tender, tenderest / most tender, 2. Modern, most modern, 2. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful, 3. Popular, more popular, most popular, 3. Important, more important, most important, 3. Expensive, more expensive, most expensive, 3. Examples. A cat is fast, a tiger is faster but a cheetah is the fastest. A car is heavy, a track is heavier but a train is the heaviest. A park bench is comfortable, a restaurant chair is more comfortable but a sofa is the most comfortable. She's the shorter of the 2 sisters. This office is most modern one in the building. NB. Never mix the 2 ways to form the comparative or superlative. Incorrect. She gets lots of benefits because she's been here more longer. Correct. She gets lots of benefits because she's been here longer. Incorrect. He works more quickly than us. Correct. He works more quickly than us. Incorrect. He was the most wisest man I ever knew. Correct. He was the wisest person I ever knew. Incorrect. She types the most fastest of all the secretaries. Correct. She types the fastest of all the secretaries. G. Irregular adjectives and adverbs. There are some irregular adjectives and adverbs. They do not make the comparative or superlative the same way that other ones do. They don't use either /st or more / most. Their comparative and superlative forms have to be remembered. Regular form. Comparative form. Superlative form. Adjectives. Good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. Little, less, least. Many, more, most. Some, more, most. Much, more, most. Adverbs well, better, best. Badly, worse, worst. Little, less, least. Far, further / farther, furthest / farthest. Examples. This program is better than the previous one. This program is the best of all. Incorrect. The software we bought the muchest of came from an online supplier. Correct. The software we bought the most of came from an online supplier. Incorrect. She was to travel the far of anyone in the office. Correct. She was to travel the farthest of anyone in the office. H. Words with no comparative and superlative forms. Not all adjectives and adverbs can have a comparative or superlative form. No type of comparison is possible with certain adjectives and adverbs. They cannot show a greater or lesser amount, so they can only have one form. Some of these words are perfect, unique, dead, impossible, and infinite. Example. Incorrect. He was the most unique president we had. Correct. He was a unique president. Unique means one of a kind. There's no other like it, so it's not possible for one president to be more or less than another one. Parallel structure required. The comparisons must make sense. You cannot compare things that are very different. They must be similar. Apples and oranges are both fruits, but they're still two different kinds of fruit. So, an apple cannot be compared to an orange. Examples. Incorrect. Michael's computer is much older than Will. Comparing a computer to a person. Correct. Michael's computer is much older than Will's computer. Comparing one computer to another. Incorrect. The English that's spoken in Canada is close to the United States. Comparing a language to a country. Correct. The English that's spoken in Canada is close to that of United States. Comparing the English spoken in two countries. J. The plus superlative. The is placed before a superlative. Examples. He's the richest man in the world. That's the biggest crocodile I've ever seen. She's the tallest girl in her class. She's the youngest employee in the company to be promoted. NB. She's being compared to all other employees at the company. The word, the, is always used before the superlative form in a sentence. K. Comparative plus than. To compare the difference between two people, things, or events. Examples. Mount Everest is higher than Mount Blanc. Thailand is sunnier than Norway. A car is more expensive than a bicycle. Albert is more intelligent than Arthur. She's shorter than her sister. This fax machine is newer than that one. The manager wants to be more popular than the previous one. The word than is usually used following the comparative form in a sentence. L. Comparison, as plus adjective plus as, usage. To compare people, places, events or things, when there's no difference use as plus adjective plus as. Examples. Peter is 24 years old. John is 24 years old. Peter is as old as John. Moscow is as cold as Petersburg in the winter. Ramona is as happy as Raphael. Einstein is as famous as Darwin. A tiger is as dangerous as a lion. M. Negative comparison, not as plus adjective plus as. Difference can also be shown by using not so slash as. Examples. Mount Blanc is not as high as Mount Everest. Norway is not as sunny as Thailand. A bicycle is not as expensive as a car. Arthur is not as intelligent as Albert. N. Comparison of quantity. To show the difference. To show difference we use more, less, fewer plus than, more plus nouns that are countable or uncountable. Fewer plus countable nouns, less plus uncountable nouns. Examples. 1. With countable nouns. More slash fewer. Eloise has more children than Chantal. Chantal has fewer children than Eloise. There are fewer dogs in Cardiff than in Bristol. I've visited fewer countries than my friend has. He has read fewer books than she has. 2. With uncountable nouns, more slash less. Eloise has more money than Chantal. Chantal has less money than Eloise. I spend less time on homework than you do. Cats drink less water than dogs. This new dictionary gives more information than the old one. To show no difference. To show no difference we use as much as many as few as little as. As many as few as plus countable nouns. As much as little as plus uncountable nouns. Examples with countable nouns. They have as many children as us. We have as many customers as them. Tom has as few books as Jane. There are as few houses in his village as in mine. You know as many people as I do. I've visited the States as many times as he has. Examples with uncountable nouns. John eats as much food as Peter. Jim has as little food as Sam. You've heard as much news as I have. He's had as much success as his brother has. They've got as little water as we have. O, equal comparison. An adjective or adverb is used to show that two things share a quality in the same amount. A quality shared in the same amount means that the two things are equal in some way. Adjective examples. Our boss is as friendly as yours. Her vacation lasted as long as her boyfriend's vacation. Adverb examples. He works as efficiently as you. His computer can download files as fast as their computer does. And more and more. Examples. The weather is getting hotter and hotter. I'm getting more and more interested in conservation these days. The and the more. The more. Examples. The colder it is, the hungrier I get. As the weather gets colder, I get hungrier. The more generous you are towards others, the more generous they are likely to be towards you. 6. Prepositions. A preposition is a word that links a noun, pronoun or noun phrase to some other part of the sentence. Prepositions can be tricky for English learners. There's no definite rule or formula for choosing a preposition. In the beginning stage of learning the language, you should try to identify a preposition when reading or listening in English and recognize its usage. Preposition is used to show direction, location or time, or to introduce an object. Types of prepositions. A. Preposition of time, used for time. On. Used to specify days and dates. The garbage track comes on Wednesdays. I was born on the 14th day of June in 1988. In. It is used for unspecific times during a day, month, season, year, when. She always reads newspapers in the morning. In the summer, we have a rainy season for 3 weeks. The new semester will start in March. In 2006. In an hour. At. For night, for weekend, for age, a certain point of time, when. It is used to point out specific time. Examples. At night. At the weekend. She learned Russian at 45. At 9:30. The bus will stop here at 5:45 p.m. I'll meet you at 12 p.m. Since, from a certain point of time, past till now. Example. Since 1980. For. Over a certain period of time, past till now. Used to indicate time or duration. He's been famous for many decades. I attended the university for 1 year only. This is all I have for today. Ago. A certain time in the past. Example. 2 years ago. Before. Earlier than a certain point of time. Example. Before 2004. 2. Used to indicate a time or a period. It's now 10 to 6, 5:50. I work 9 to 6, Monday to Friday. Past. Telling the time. Example. 10 past 6. 6:10, to/till. Making the beginning and end of a period of time. Example. From Monday to/till Friday. Till/until. In the sense of how long something is going to last. Example. He's on holiday until Friday. By. In the sense at the latest up to a certain time. Examples. I will be back by 6 o'clock. By 11 o'clock I had read 5 pages. Over. Used to indicate a period of time. I worked there over a year. She did not sleep there over this past month. B. Prepositions of place, position and direction. In. Used to indicate a location or place, room, building, street, town, country, book, paper, car, taxi, world. In the kitchen, in the book, in the car, in a taxi, in the picture, in the world. Get in the car. Entering a car/taxi. She looked me directly in the eyes. I'm currently staying in a hotel. My hometown is Los Angeles, which is in California. At. Meaning next, by an object, for table, for events, place where you're to do something typical, watch a film, study, work. At the door, at the station, at the table, at a concert, at the party, at the cinema, at school, at work. There's a party at the clubhouse. There were hundreds of people at the park. We saw a baseball game at the stadium. On. Used to express a surface of something, for a certain side, left, right, for a floor in a house, for public transport, for television, radio. The picture on the wall. I put an egg on the kitchen table. The paper is on my desk. London lies on the Thames. On the table. On the left, on the first floor, on a plane, on foot, on horseback, get on the bus, on TV, on radio. He is on the phone right now. She's been on the computer since this morning. My favorite movie will be on TV tonight. Used to indicate a part of the body. The stick hit me on the shoulder. He kissed me on my cheek. I wear a ring on my finger. By, next to, beside. Left or right of somebody or something. It is used to indicate proximity. Jane is standing by /next to beside the car. Can I sit by you? He was standing by me. The post office is by the bank. Under. On the ground, lower than, or covered by, something else. The bag is under the table. Below. Lower than something else but above the ground. The fish are below the surface. Over. Covered by something else, meaning more than getting to the other side, also across, overcoming an obstacle. Put a jacket over your shirt. Over 16 years of age, walk over the bridge. Climb over the wall. Above. Higher than something else, but not directly over it. A path above the lake. Through. Something with limits on top, bottom and the sides. Drive through the tunnel. Across. Getting to the other side, also over. Walk across the bridge. Swim across the lake. Towards. Movement in the direction of something, but not directly to it. Go 5 steps towards the house. 2. Movement to person or building, movement to a place or country, for bed. Go to the cinema. Go to London/Ireland. Go to bed. I'm heading to the entrance of the building. The package was mailed to Mr. Kim yesterday. All of us went to the movie theater. Please send it back to me. Into. Enter a room/a building. Go into the kitchen/the house. Onto. Movement to the top of something. Jump onto the table. Off. Leaving a public transport vehicle. Get off the train. Out of. Leaving a car/taxi. Get out of the taxi. From, in the sense of where from, who gave it. A flower from the garden. A present from Jane. Over. Used to indicate a movement from one place to another. Come over to my house for dinner sometime. Could you roll over? They sent over a gift for his promotion. Used to indicate movement downwards. The big tree fell over on the road. Can you bend over and get the dish for me? He pushed it over the bridge. See, other important prepositions. At. Used to indicate an email address. Please email me at abc@defg.com. It's also used to indicate an activity. He laughed at my acting. I'm good at drawing a portrait. About. For topics, meaning what about. We were talking about you. 2. Used to indicate a limit or an ending point. The snow was piled up to the roof. The stock prices rose up to $100. It is also used to indicate relationship. This letter is very important to your admission. My answer to your question is in this envelope. Do not respond to every little thing in your life. 4. Used to indicate the use of something. This place is for exhibitions and shows. I baked a cake for you birthday. I put a note on the door for privacy. She has been studying hard for the final exam. It's also used to mean because of. I'm so happy for you. We feel deeply sorry for your loss. For this reason, I've decided to quit this job. With. Used to indicate being together or being involved. I ordered a sandwich with a drink. He was with his friend when he saw me. She has been working with her sister at the nail shop. The manager will be with you shortly. Used to indicate having. I met a guy with green eyes. Were you the one talking with an accent? People with a lot of money are not always happy. Used to indicate using. I wrote a letter with the pen you gave me. This is the soup that I made with rice and barley. He cut my hair with his gold scissors. Used to indicate feeling. I'm emailing you with my sincere apology. He came to the front stage with confidence. Used to indicate agreement or understanding. Are you with me? Yes, I'm completely with you. She agrees with me. Over. Used to indicate more than an expected number or amount. This amount is over our prediction. Kids 12 and over can watch this movie. The phone rang for over a minute. Of. Used for belonging to, relating to, connected with, or what does it show? A page of the book. The picture of a palace. The secret of this game is that you can't ever win. The highlight of the show is at the end. The first page of the book describes the author's profile. Don't touch it. That's the bag of my friend's sister. I always dreamed of being rich and famous. Used to indicate reference. I got married in the summer of 2000. This is a picture of my family. I got a discount of 10% on the purchase. Used to indicate an amount or number. I drank 3 cups of milk. A large number of people gathered to protest. I had only 4 hours of sleep during the last 2 days. He got a perfect score of 5 on his writing assignment. By. Used to indicate the person who made it. A book by Mark Twain. Used to indicate rise or fall of something, traveling, other than walking or horse riding. Prices have risen by 10%. By car, by bus. Used to indicate the person that does something in a passive voice sentence. The microwave was fixed by the mechanic. The flowers were delivered by a postman. The branch office was closed by the head office. Used to indicate an action with a particular purpose, you can pass the exam by preparing for it. I expressed my feeling toward her by writing a letter. She finally broke the record by pure effort. Used to indicate a mean or method. Please send this package to Russia by airmail. I came here by subway. On. Used to indicate the state of something. Everything in this store is on sale. The building is on fire. In. Used to indicate a shape, color, or size. This painting is mostly in blue. The students stood in a circle. This jacket comes in 4 different sizes. Used to express while doing something. In preparing for the final report, we revised the tone 3 times. A catchphrase needs to be impressive in marketing a product. Used to indicate a belief, opinion, interest or feeling. I believe in the next life. We are not interested in gambling. D. Prepositions with nouns, adjectives and verbs. Prepositions are sometimes so firmly wedded to other words that they have practically become one word. This occurs in 3 categories: nouns, adjectives, and verbs. A combination of verb and preposition is called a phrasal verb. The word that is joined to the verb is then called a participle. Nouns and prepositions. Approval of, awareness of, belief in, concern for, confusion about, understanding of, desire for, fondness for, grasp of, hatred of, hope for, interest in, love of, need for, participation in, reason for, respect for, success in. Adjectives and prepositions. Afraid of, angry at, aware of, capable of, careless about, familiar with, fond of, happy about, interested in, jealous of, made of, married to, proud of, similar to, sorry for, sure of, tired of, worried about, verbs and prepositions. Apologize for, ask about, ask for, belong to, bring up, care for, find out, give up, grow up, look for, look forward to, look up, make up, pay for, prepare for, study for, talk about, think about, trust in, work for, worry about. 7. Conjunctions. The conjunction is the part of speech used as a joiner for words, phrases, or clauses in a particular sentence. Examples: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Pizza and burgers are my favorite snacks. Emma did not like bananas but she loved apples. You may bring a main dish or a side dish to the party. A. Types of conjunctions. There are 3 types of conjunctions. 1. Coordinating conjunctions. 2. Correlative conjunctions. 3. Subordinating conjunctions. 1. Coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions, also called coordinators, are conjunctions that connect 2 or more equal items. Examples: and, but, for, nor, or, so, yet. She plays tennis and soccer. It is raining, so we have an umbrella. He works quickly but accurately. 4. I'm going to the store, for I need to buy some milk. And I love reading books, and my favorite author is J.K. Rowling. Nor I don't like coffee, nor do I like tea. But I'm tired, but I still need to finish this project. Or do you want to go to the beach or the park, yet? I'm not a morning person, yet I woke up early today. So I'm feeling sick, so I'm going to stay home. 2. Correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions are used in pairs. They work in pairs to coordinate 2 items. Examples: both and. Either or, neither nor, not only but also. My sister will begin either trade school or community college in the fall. I didn't know that she can neither read nor write. Both and. I love both reading books and watching movies. Either or. Do you want either tea or coffee? Not only, but also. I'm not only tired but also hungry. He is not only a strong student but also a gifted athlete. 3. Subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions, also called subordinators, are conjunctions that join a dependent, or subordinating, clause to an independent, or main, clause. Examples: after, although, as, because, before, even if, even though, if, in order that, once, provided that, rather than, since, so that, then, that, though, unless, until, when, whenever, where, whereas, wherever, whether, while, why. After dinner, we'll go see a movie. Whether or not you agree, I think it looks fine. Until we find it, we can't leave. Because I'm late because I got stuck in traffic. Although I'm tired although I slept well last night. If I'll go to the party if you're going. Unless I won't go to the party unless you're going. Until I'll wait until you arrive. While I was studying while my brother was watching TV. Since I've been waiting since morning. B. Conjunctions. Time. When, after, before, until, since, while, once, as, and so soon as, are subordinating conjunctions which can be used to connect an action or an event to a point in time. Action. Conjunction. Time. She was in a bad car accident, when, she was young. We can't play loud music after everyone has gone to bed. Brush your teeth before you go to bed. I'll wait with you until the bus comes. I've been very busy since I started my new job. No one left the cinema while the movie was on. I'll call you once I arrive. We always have an ice cream as soon as we get to the beach. I bumped into her as I came out of the bank. Many of these conjunctions can be followed by ing or ed forms instead of subject plus verb. Warning. We don't use will after conjunctions referring to future time. When people walk into the room, they will feel something special. Not, when people will walk in the room, they will feel something special. I'll call you as soon as I get to the office. Not, as soon as I will get to the office. When, once, as soon as. We can use when, once, as and as soon as to talk about a specific point in time when something happened or will happen. Examples. When we were in Greece, we went to as many islands as possible. They always close their curtains once they get home in the evening. As soon as we hear any news, we'll call you. Before, after, and until. We use before and after to talk about the order of events in the past or future with before and after. Either the main clause or the subordinate clause can come first. Event 1, she'll pick you up before. Event 2, she comes here. Event 1, after she comes here. Event 2, she'll pick you up. Until, as a time conjunction means up to a time in the past or future. In the clause of until, the main clause usually comes first. Examples. I'm going to wait until the January sales start to buy a new jacket. Until he mentioned his name was Doug, I thought he was called Damien. Less common order. We spell until with one L, not until. While. We use while to show that action or events happen at the same time in the past, present or future. Examples. Can you wait in the car while I run into the shop? They were talking while the teacher was explaining the activity. Warning. We don't use during instead of while. During is a preposition, not a conjunction, and it must be followed by a noun or a pronoun. Examples. I like to have the radio on while I study. Not. I like to have the radio on during I study. 8. Interjection. An interjection is a word or phrase used to express emotion or surprise, often in a short abrupt exclamation, and is grammatically independent from the rest of the sentence. An interjection expresses feeling or emotion, such as joy, surprise, pain, hesitation, or anger. They are often used in informal speech and writing and are usually followed by an exclamation mark or a comma. Grammatical independence. Interjections are not directly connected to other words in a sentence and can stand alone. Types of interactions with examples. Expressing emotion. O. Expressing surprise, disappointment or pain. Oh no. I forgot my keys. Wow. Expressing amazement. Wow. What a beautiful house. Wow. That's amazing. Ouch. Expressing pain. Ouch. It hurts badly. Ouch. That hurts. Hey. Expressing greeting or calling attention. Ugh. Expressing disgust. Hooray. Expressing joy or celebration. Hooray. We won. Alas. Expressing sorrow or regret. Bingo. Expressing success or finding something. Bravo. Expressing approval or applause. Eureka. Expressing the discovery of something. Greetings and farewell. Hey. How are you? Hello. Nice to see you. Bye. See you later, agreement/disagreement. Yes. I'll do it, no. Don't touch that, Casual, yes. Nope. Casual, no. Hesitation or pauses. I'm not sure. Let me think. Well, maybe later. Sound-based interjections. Onomatopoeia. Boom. The fireworks exploded. Splash. He jumped into the pool. Meow. The cat wants food. Punctuation rules. Strong emotion use exclamation mark. Oh my God. That's incredible. Mild emotion use comma. Oh, I see what you mean. Mid-sentence pause use commas or dashes. Well, I guess we can try. Maybe you're right. We also have gee, golly, gosh, holy cow, aha, duh, yes, no, yeah, hi, hey, hello, ha, blah, yep, cheers, alas, crikey. Thank you for listening.